It is super weird to have a green screen behind me. I mean, that is just strange. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Friday. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about Skyrim Anniversary Edition. Skyrim just turned 10 yesterday? Whatever the 11th was. Time is an enigma. I don't know. And for a few months, I've actually wanted to do 10th Anniversary Skyrim stream. Just so happens, Bethesda decided they were going to release a 10th anniversary of Skyrim. It is the same game. It's Skyrim and the DLCs. But they also released all of the Creation Club content, which is something that I never experienced because that didn't exist by the time I finished the Let's Play. Over the past few years, there's basically been microtransactions like extra quests, extra items, extra this or that you could buy and add into the game. And now they've just bundled all of that together and they've put it into this Anniversary Edition, along with a few new quests also that weren't even included in Creation Club. So my take on it is, if you've been playing Skyrim for the past few years, like pretty recently, especially if you've bought any of this Creation Club stuff, then it may not seem that new. If you haven't played Skyrim in a decade, you actually might like the Anniversary Edition because for one, it's nice to come back to a game, and I think 10 years is about the time it takes for me to want to come back to something. So it's about time for anyone that played it at launch to play it again for fun. And there's a fair bit of content. Like, there's 74 different Creation Club mods, which is the collection of equipment or quests or whatever. And then there's some new quests too. And I'm sure they're not all winners. We got a chance to see a little bit of it tonight. For example, one of the things they added is fishing. And the fishing is kind of a joke. It's a little insane. It's funny though. Like, one of the things that is weird about Skyrim is that it's janky because it's a Bethesda game. Even in the short time that I played tonight, it was janky. But it's almost charming in a way. And I don't know that a lot of other games can get away with it like Skyrim can, but there's just something about it where I'm like, that's broken, or this doesn't make sense, and I just laugh about it. But the fishing that they added is, it's something. You get a fishing rod, and then there are designated places on the map which are not marked on the map. You have to buy or find a map that is just an image that shows vaguely where the fishing spots are, and when you finally go up to them, then you can fish. So you can only fish in very specific designated places, and it's not like you get to choose where you look. You just go up and you press A, and then there's an animation of you putting the fishing rod in the water, and then there's some splashes, and when the big splash comes, you press A, and then that's it. Like, that's it. That's the full extent of it. And then, like, there's 20 different fish to catch. You can put them on the wall. There's actually a bunch of quests related to fishing, so like it's fleshed out a little bit more. But the fishing mechanic itself is hilariously simple. Chaz had actually pointed out that there are NES fishing games that have deeper concepts than Skyrim's, and it's true. It's true. But it was fun to actually just play Skyrim again. It's been a long time, and I enjoyed it. I put so much time into it when I played it 10 years ago, because I did everything that I could possibly do. And one of the stories I was telling near the end of the stream is, when people play a game, they tend to play through it relatively quickly. Including a big game like this. It might take people a month or two, but I would venture that most people that played Skyrim probably beat it within the first 2 months of them playing it. I was different. I played through it for however long, 3 years? Just about 3 years, I think, for Skyrim. And over that time, a lot of times when you play video games, you remember things that are happening and going on in your life. You associate it with the game that you were playing at the time, especially if you play video games regularly. For me, Skyrim is kind of a staple in my early married life, my early life on my own. Because when Skyrim came out, we had only been married for a few months. We'd gotten married in August and it came out in November, so just like 3 months. And then I had done the Let's Play for less than a year before we got the kittens, so then I had to contend with trying to do recordings while I had 2 little kittens running around, and that was a hassle. But I've got all of these, little memories of living life and then saying, okay, I gotta sit down and do a recording, because, I did Skyrim one at a time. So I was releasing 2 episodes a week, had to record it one at a time, and that's hard. It's super, super hard to do, and I don't recommend anyone do it. But because of that, and because of the time it took me, I have a lot of associations of that life from 2011 to 2014 with this game. And it was just very, very nostalgic for me. There's also more to do, because there is so much new content, and we focus solely, to our best of our ability, on playing the new content. It's going to take a little bit longer to get through some of it, so I'm going to do this again next week. It seemed like the audience really enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed it, so we're just gonna, I'm gonna keep going through it, and as long as I'm trying very hard not to have rehashed content, if I get started on a quest that is from base game Skyrim that I know I've done, I just don't do it. I'm like, I don't need to do this. I've done it. I've shown this off before. I want to just focus on new stuff. It's fun. It's fun. I'm having fun with it so far. Although I am being reminded that the magic side of Skyrim sucks. You have to you have to get really far into the game and get your magic way up in order for you to be able to kill anything with magic. It's kind of weak. So I'm hoping that gets a little bit better, because I'm kind of focusing on wizardry right now, and it's not going super well. Also, you can kill people with fishing rods. Done a little bit of that. That was fun. Anyway, the other thing that's weird is, this green screen is here. I've had the thought before of doing green screened couch content, but I was always worried about the couch itself, because on my chair, the green screen, covers the entire chair and there's no edges. But with the couch, you got to contend with this, and I put it into OBS, and then I made a little graphic that kind of scooped me into the corner like I was sitting on a shelf, and it looked great. And I was like, oh crap, this is actually fine. I might do this more in the future. So I don't know, there might be more couch stuff that I just shove this back here. And you might be saying, well, why didn't you just use your setup over there? Because isn't that what that's for? And you're not wrong, but the problem is it's never set up. That's one of the reasons why it's such a hassle to do things over there, is because I have to move all the lights, I have to unplug a ton of stuff and plug it into new things, I have to run different cables. It's a nightmare, to be honest. And I hate that, because I want to just be able to easily sit down and say, I'm going to do a stream, I'm going to do this, and just hit a button. But only the couch is set up like that. That side of the room is not. And anytime I want to do something, it's like, oh my god, it's going to be a whole thing. First 20 every month is a whole thing. And it's just unfortunate. But knowing that this works, god, I might do first 20 on the couch. I might. I want to eventually have things set up where I can just sit down and do solo streams easy. But I don't right now. So until I do, this is kind of a happy medium. I'm not terribly disappointed with how this turned out tonight. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I have a feeling that most of you have played Skyrim in some capacity. If you haven't, if you really haven't, it's, it's good. It really is good. Is it janky? Yeah, and sure, it may not be for everyone, but I would venture that it's for most. I really would, and the Anniversary Edition is a great way to jump in. Or if you have the Switch and you want to play the Switch version is very good too. But I really enjoyed doing this tonight, and I'm looking forward to playing a little bit more next week. Should be fun, and hopefully no stream issues, because I ran into some problems on the Streambox side, but I have them solved for next week. It's not the way I wanted to solve them, but the only way I can solve them how I want would be to throw more hardware at the problem. And buying the components for a new computer right now seems hard. Seems hard. Let's meet back tomorrow, shall we?